What's up, everybody? This is Jude from Section 122 on ArgosEndzone.com, and it's time for Week 10 action as the Argos travel to Edmonton to take on the Eskimos. As always, you can click the See More button below on the YouTube channel to click on the chapter you want to get to. We'll keep things going right now with a quick look back at what happened last week. It was not a pretty game, but there's no bonus points for style. Argos came out on top against the visiting Ottawa Red Blacks. You always got to yell it, it's in all caps. With a squeaker, only by 4 points. A return of Swayze Waters made an immediate impact, literally and figuratively, as he was, I believe he was 4 for 4, 3 for 3 on field goal attempts. And then on the one, he averaged more than 50 yards per punt. The one he kind of flubbed, he ran down, almost recovered, and laid a heck of a hit on the return man. A tip of the cap to you, sir, bringing in all facets of your game as always. For that matter, a tip of the cap to Mr. Henry Burris. He lit it up. He had over 400 yards passing. They always talk about Good Hank and Bad Hank. Good Hank played for 3 quarters, but they dressed Bad Hank for the 4th as they weren't able to come back, which is probably more of a statement about the Argos defense. Christian Okblugo with 2 fumble recoveries in 2 weeks. I believe that's what Ricky Foley was yelling on the sidelines. Cleon Lang, key sack to end the game. It was Corey Greenwood making a return there as well, playing physical. Jermaine Gabriel laying the lumber. You saw a very physical Argos defense is what I'm trying to get across, which was great to see, bringing that impact. Trevor Harris, a bounce back after the interception return touchdown, was consistent. I believe he was over 70% completion again, over 300 yards, working very, very well on the offensive side. Great to see Chad Cackert adding another element to the running game. And the three-headed monster that are the three amigos, the rookie receivers, all contributed in big ways with touchdowns caught by 2 of them. It was, again, not a real pretty game. And for all the penalties again, I don't know what it is about Rogers Center and penalties that just change the outcome of a game. I don't know if that's going to continue or not. What I keep thinking about is the Argos are 6-2 this season, and the only really complete game they played was the opener against Edmonton. So they have a really strong record to be tied for first in the East without really playing well, which bodes really well for this team moving forward in the sense that they can only get better from here. They're not peaking too early, right? Right? Week 10 sees the Double Blue travel to Alberta for the 2nd time this season, this time as the proper visiting team, taking on the Eskimos. Edmonton got stomped at home last week by the Hamilton Ticats, who are rolling and are very scary. We'll talk about them next week for the Labor Day Classic. But for right now, we'll focus on Edmonton. The Eskimos will have an unproven rookie quarterback starting this week. But when you talk about Edmonton, you got to talk about defense, which starts, of course, with Odo Willis, who one of the biggest yaps in the league, but he backs it up. And that team, that front 4, that front 7, very, very dangerous. And with former Argo Pat Watkins in the defensive backfield, you've got to be aware of him when you're throwing the ball. So the Argos have got to make sure they take advantage of that aggressive defense. So I'm always thinking, counters, screenplays, something that's going to take them out of position with it and then take advantage of that overly aggressive defense. When the Argos have the ball, that's when the Argos have the ball. When Edmonton is on offense, the Argos will have to make sure that they contain that running game because Eskimos have been running pretty well the last couple of weeks. And with an unproven quarterback, you could see that ground game maybe try to step up to break some balance and take the pressure off of him. If I were a gamble man, I would see the Argos keying on those running backs and try to force the Edmonton to beat them through the air. That's just me talking out loud. Of course, the field possession game will be crucial. The returning Swayze Waters, moving the ball downfield on punts, along with the kick coverage against Shaw, who was a former Argo kicking for the Eskimos. It could be one of those battle of field positions, those war of attrition type of games. That it could be low scoring, where the points come more on field position rather than big play drives. Keep an eye out for that. A player I'll be watching on defense will be number 91, Tristan Okblugo. He's caused or recovered 2 fumbles in the last 2 games, and we're starting to see that role that he got on that made him the East Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm anticipating him to continue to contribute. You're starting to see that defensive line to gel. I've seen more aggression coming from them. I still don't believe the Argos blitz enough. I think that when you've got that type of front four, creating that much havoc, bringing that extra linebacker is just going to create absolute chaos. That's a personal opinion coming from a fan. I would like to see them blitz more. However, I'm still watching Oak Blugo to make a big impression and a big impact on that rookie quarterback for the Eskimos this week. On offense, I'm looking at number 81, Torrey Gurley. I believe he's got 6 touchdown passes so far on this season. So, you got 6 wins, 6 touchdown passes. You see a trend here, right? He moves the ball well, great size. He can overpower just about every defensive back. Outside Pat Watkins. If they have to match up, that could be a very interesting battle that we'll keep an eye on. But I'm thinking that Gurley's going to make an impact this week in a positive way. Keep an eye out for him as well. When you look at the math in terms of what each team has scored and allowed over the previous 8 games, it's got the Eskimos coming out on top 25-23. If you ever see me betting against the Argos on this channel, find me and punch me. All right? We know we're going double blue. And I'm anticipating both defenses playing very well with the Argos offense having that slight edge. So I'm picturing a 28-17 Argos win. Because I only go with numbers when they favor the double blue. There, I said it. Okay? I said it. I'm a homer. I said it. Twitter's a great place to start a random argument with someone you'll never meet in your life. And piggybacking on the success of At Midnight from Comedy Central or Much, depending on which side of the border you're on, with their hashtag wars, this week we're going to introduce the Trashtag. That's right. We want you to come up with your best description and put this hashtag on it, tweeting at Argos Endzone. So this week, because they're facing Edmonton, we're going to look at Edmonton weekends. Things to do in Edmonton over the weekend. We're looking for things like go to the West Edmonton Mall, or hang out at the West Edmonton Mall, or loiter at the West Edmonton Mall. So, tweet at Argos Endzone using the hashtag Edmonton Weekends with your best insult for what you do in Edmonton on the weekend. We'll post the best one here next week. Let's have some fun, shall we? That'll wrap things up here for Week 10. Hope you had some fun. Always feel free to comment down below, and we'll keep evolving the channel for you. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Definitely follow us on Twitter because, again, we started the Trashtag this week. So we want to make sure that you tweet at Argos Endzone using the hashtag Edmonton Weekends with your best insult for living in Edmonton. If you're online anyways, make sure you go over to the Argos website and order your Argos cheer calendar. It's only $20, best $20 you spend all year. White Raylin? Yeah, August was great. And since you're going to be on Twitter anyways, you're going to be online, make sure you're following Andre Dury's Twitter account. He's promoting his 32 Smiles campaign, which is giving away free tickets to home games. The fellow you're listening to right now won tickets to the September 11th game against Hamilton. How cool was that? So, yeah, make sure you follow Andre Dury and keep tapping that campaign. So, Friday night, 9 o'clock, get in front of your TV, unless you're in Edmonton, because why else would you be in Edmonton, and enjoy the game. Until next time, this is Drew from Section 122, argosendzone.com, reminding you we ride the rail, and we ride it.